Do you have like a hero?
I mean, your mother is my hero.
What?
Growing up, did you have any heroes?
Stop it! Soya, you cannot.
I mean, let's just take a vote. Dear audience, do you think I meant that or did I not mean that?
I think you. It's not a joke if it only makes you laugh. Hello, namaste. Welcome to the Zarna Garg family podcast where all 5 Gargs are in the house, and today's episode is gonna make you so angry. Your blood is gonna boil. Your blood pressure is gonna explode. And then we are gonna make you laugh about it, and we're gonna bring it home with a very sizzling, hot, entertaining episode. Today's topic is people who steal each other's credit. People who steal other people's work.
Why are you pointing at me?
I'm not. I was just speaking out into the air. People who steal other people's words. People who steal other people's things. I'm not going to get into it, but we're going to get right into it. Let's not waste a single minute. Let me introduce the 5 Gargs in the house. My husband of 28 years, Wall Street veteran, Shalabh Garg. My daughter who just finished college, Zoya Garg. My son who's in college, Bridge Garg. And my middle schooler, Veer Garg. So who wants to go first on the topic of credit?
I have such a hot take, and I was thinking about saving it for later in the episode, but I think I'm just gonna say it now. My hot take is that social media, if you know how to use it, can be used as a credible source.
No.
Oh.
Your credit can be that you found it on social media via a verifiable source.
Everything on social
Exactly. So I think that there's such a notion that AI and social media cannot be used as credit because it's so informal. But I think that in the direction we're heading in,
Wait, AI?
I think AI is a little bit further down the line. I think right now social media can be used as credit and credible if you know how to use it.
That's really interesting because a lot of people in the beginning days of social media, I remember, would be like, "Oh, I read an article," but really, they just
you
saw
read it on
Instagram.
That's what mom does. Yeah, that's what mom's thing.
Can you automatically tell if somebody shows something to you? Can you just by first glance, and I'm asking you this question because you're a classics major, can you just at first glance tell if it's original work or somebody copied it from somewhere?
No, but you can tell when someone is using their voice in their writing. And when someone has just agglomerated some machine verbiage together.
So if there's some random woman out there who's stealing jokes that she heard from her husband all these years and telling them on a stage, can you tell that?
That sounds like a really specific example, and we need the context.
I mean, but I'm just saying random woman.
You steal quotes from her all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about her. I'm saying just some random Indian
Do
woman.
you or do you not take some of mom's ideas and
Never,
pass them
ever.
off as your...
No.
How can you say that, Dad?
So yeah, I'm very disappointed.
You're laughing. You're literally
I'm not
giggling.
laughing. I'm not. I'm very serious. I'm not laughing at all. I'm not laughing at all. I'm very serious.
Okay. Wait, so when you say it twice, you're not very serious.
I'm serious. I do
Mom
not
says
steal.
that when a kid says,
there's
I
nothing
took
to
a
steal.
cookie from the cookie jar, I took a cookie from the cookie jar. When
No,
a
you're
kid...
saying it wrong.
What is it?
I didn't take the cookie. I didn't take the cookie. That's when you can tell they're lying.
I didn't take the cookie. Only once.
I actually agree with you, Veer.
You agree?
Yeah, I think you should be honest where you get credit from. I mean, on the topic of social media, it feels like people on social media just steal things all the time with no credit.
She's gotten her
What is
social.
going on social
thing.
media?
Every influencer out there, I just thought of this, and it's I don't know.
But then if it was that easy, each one of those influencers would be succeeding and they're not. So clearly it's not just that, right?
No, yeah, putting out original work that is authentic. Hence, mom receiving her Rings Award from Instagram, one of 25 people in the world that was given the Oscars of Instagram specifically for their originality on the platform. Other winners include Laufey and Olivia Dean and just incredible artists. Yeah, it's very rare, which is why your wife is really one of a kind.
Oh,
She definitely
please.
is one of a kind.
Do sell me to him. Because, he's ready with his entire quiver of arrows is ready to go at me.
But Bridge, you're always saying that there are thieves on the podcast, that we're constantly stealing each other's
My
ideas.
ideas get stolen so much on this podcast. It's insane.
Is it possible that ideas themselves are stolen at first, so it feels like a reverse steal? Like a double steal? Like
I steal them
Yeah.
and then you guys steal them.
Yeah.
No.
What?
It's just you guys steal them. All the time I hear you guys make points that I've made either in discretion, like outside of the camera, or even sometimes on earlier podcasts, and then get passed off as if they're your idea until I call you out for stealing that idea. That happens in shows on live podcast tapings where I made jokes and Deer has stolen the joke at like a later taping. Or that happens in the podcast where Didi just takes an idea that I said earlier and then acts as if she had just like magically
recall
came up
that.
with it. So I'm tired of that.
What's the big deal? Like, is it a big deal to have to give
No,
credit?
I don't think. You know why I don't care that it happens? Is here, I'll explain why. If I was going to be upset over every time somebody was going to steal an idea of mine, then I wouldn't be a good leader, because that's going to happen a lot when you're a great leader. So it doesn't bother me at all when someone steals my idea, because I know that I'm bound to
Let
come
me
up
ask
with
you a
the next
question,
one.
Raj. Do you think an idea is worth anything anyway? Or is
No.
it really the execution?
Well, kind of. It depends on
It's
because
just that how I end up talking about those ideas, maybe I just come across. as more
executing
credible.
on the podcast is through ideas. So in that way, if you're starting with a company and you have a company idea, that means nothing. Because a company idea is 1 in a billion, 100 other people are going to come up with it. It all matters to who's going to execute. But sometimes ideas are the execution of your preparation. So if I'm looking to start a
Very
podcast,
right.
or I'm on this podcast, the ideas are my execution of what I've Yeah.
Mm.
already thought.
Like Finance Dad. It's sort of my
Exactly.
idea. My
Exactly. Like, and finance dad,
was
your
not your
ideas are-
idea.
Weird. What the?
Wait, Finance Dad was mom's idea.
Wait, that was mom's idea. Yeah.
You're telling me you came up with Finance Dad on your own?
Who is the man in finance in this family?
But did
Who
you
is
come with
the
the
dad
idea?
in this family?
brand of Finance
like
Dad?
this, or
Dad.
even the name.
Just by putting those two words together, you're gonna take credit. But the fact that I am the finance guy and I am the dad, doesn't it
2
automatically
words put together are incredibly powerful. Just
Yeah.
do it as 3 words.
like like what? What does that even mean? 2 words put together.
I feel like mom is quiet.
I'm not gonna say, sometimes the best thing you can do is give somebody the rope so they can hang themselves.
Oh, so you're giving yourself the rope.
No.
Let the odd pull. Who just walked into a trap that they created?
She's
themselves?
again copying my style, which
How
are really
many people-
my idea of the style.
How many people watching this podcast believe that Finance Dad was his idea? And how many people watching this podcast believe that it was my idea that I made him do? Why don't you, his beloved followers, chime in on this topic?
Actually, I'm going to amend that ask. Instead of chiming on whose idea it was, who could have made that idea successful?
Whoa. We're talking about ideas right now. First of all, even to make it successful, please elaborate. Who shoots it? Who edits it? Who executes it? Who you think sitting in front of a camera and talking for 20 minutes is what the podcast
I
is?
borrowed the producer who produces this particular.
Oh.
That,
Okay. All right, let's get back to the topic because I have a funny story to tell. I wrote an essay on Roman patronage in the Augustan age that was amazing. And it was all about how the Medicis would, get funding from all these oil tycoons in order to get, the Medicis would fund all these poets at the time to basically shape culture. And I compared that to the Gettys and all these other families that would fund great art in order to change their own legacy. And it was an essay I had worked really hard on. At the time, I was kind of seeing this guy who was a big Twitter influencer. And I, in wanting to impress this guy with my intellect, sent him my essay saying, do you like my essay? And then not 2.5 hours later, he refactored my essay into a tweet that got over 3 million impressions.
Without
True
asking you.
story, without asking
No,
me.
pretending wholly that it was
Was his
idea.
words.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I've thought a lot about that because obviously the relationship
immediately
didn't
call him?
No, because I was so astonished that
But you
it had
texted him,
happened.
right?
I did. I
Yeah.
texted him because he was like, "Why did you just suddenly stop responding to me?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You plagiarized my essay," and he said, "Oh no, I just thought you would be flattered by that I used
why-
my
did he
platform."
give you credit that this-
No,
He just took the whole thing as
he
his
took
own.
the whole essay.
I'm embarrassed for my kind. for the mankind,
What?
for men of the world. I'm
You
really
know
embarrassed.
what? I thought a
How
lot
could a
about
man do that?
I thought a lot about that, and I guess if you think about it, I didn't have the courage to share my essay
That's exactly
on
how
my
I was
Twitter.
thinking it.
So if I had shared my essay and had the balls to share it and seen how people would have responded to
agree.
it, that actually has more value than the ideas themselves.
100%.
But that's not the point here, Zoya.
I'm not
He
saying-
cannot just take your piece of work.
Right,
You're-
I think that is the
It's a-
point.
it's a
I think
piece
that's the
of-
great
you
point
read
to take away
things
from what,
all over the
from what
place,
happened.
right? You read things everywhere. I'm not defending that guy. He clearly stole from, and was like kind of a dating situation, which was even weird. Like to steal somebody from somebody who might be dating feels even more egregious. But the truth is that if your voice is big and you're out there just putting out things with courage, then you are going to get credit for it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very famous self-help book out that's on the bestseller list for, I don't know, 50, 60 weeks. And we're not going to get into naming the book because it's not about naming and shaming anybody. But widely, people have said that that book and the particular phrase that made that book popular has been stolen from another poet. And that poet wrote a poem around this and blah, blah, blah. But that person who wrote the original thing never broadcast it on mass scale, or I don't know what the data was. But one person saw potential in it at a scale that nobody else.
Like,
You have to tell us who this is now.
no, I can't.
people
I
can
can't.
guess.
People
It was the
can.
most popular self-help book this year.
Yeah.
I bet you can guess because
And
there's been a lot of.
I actually like the self-help
Yeah.
person. It's not about that. But she saw the potential in the words that even the person who originally wrote the thing didn't see.
But why did she not take permission from him or her?
But permission for what? There's 50 essays
Yeah.
on the Medicis or whatever.
Like,
this
for
is.
example, I mean, my essay was fantastic. So if
I'm
you're
not
curious, I'll
questioning
send
that.
it to you. But you know, we talk about it as a family all the time. Like, if you've watched the movie The Founder, which is Bridge, and I introduced this movie to Bridge. It's all about, Mom introduced it to me. Wow. Did you see all that credit? That was amazing. Anyways, it's about how the McDonald's brothers, who started the chain, they had started this small hamburger restaurant, and then the person that ultimately profited off of it did so in unethical, maybe ways. But we might not have McDonald's if it weren't for the way that he saw the potential of that restaurant and how he expanded it. So I don't actually have an answer on this question, but I do think that what does it mean to give somebody credit versus take responsibility for the success of the thing popping off, you know?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if, it's a very close call a lot. And I have nothing to hide here. Everything I do is original because I don't even have time to watch or what other people are doing half the time.
By the way, that I'm no picking there that she is an original work. I mean, I don't think there's any human being in the world that is as original as Zarna is.
Mom,
I agree with that.
do you get offended when people take your work without giving credit?
He just gave credit
fact, I
because
mean-
that
Actually,
was
a
so
clothing company
sweet.
at one time.
So much so that when she wrote my business school essay, even that had to be original.
Mom, do you get offended when people take your content and post it without
Oh my
giving
God.
credit?
Can I tell you what happened? This happened in real time. I was booked to do a corporate gig. Okay. I was a last act of the night and I was sitting in the green room. So I didn't know what the previous acts, all the honorees before they, you know how in all these charitable things, they honor the CEO of this and the CEO of that and all these rich and famous people. And I was sitting in the green room because the plan was for me to come out at the end and surprise the audience. So I had no idea what people were doing or not doing before me. I just had a paper run of show.
Yeah.
Then I did my act and I have very famously written a joke about how Indian CEOs are the new labradoodle that every company wants.
Yeah.
Right? I found out, and I told that joke at that event because there were a lot of Indian CEOs there at this charitable event, not knowing that one of the CEOs had stolen my joke and used it as a laugh line in their acceptance speech right before me.
No way.
So as soon as I got off, I was flooded with texts. They're like, you took her words. And I had nothing to hide. My joke was already very public. By that point, it was all over the place anyway. But this person, which either she stole it knowing that I was going to follow and may not use it, or she had a writer. More likely, she had like one of her assistants write
See, that's
something.
the thing. A male CEO would never do something like that.
Oh my God. That had nothing to do with gender.
I didn't say it was a female.
You just said she.
You did, but
No, but I could have alluded to he or she.
No.
But right now you clearly said she.
You did say she.
It was a woman.
So my point is a male CEO, and that's why 70% of this, or maybe 80% of the CEOs are men.
That's not why. Okay,
That's-
continue.
yeah.
Mom, go ahead. Keep going.
But that was the most shocking, brazen.
Did the joke hit?
Not when I did it, and I was confused by it.
Yeah.
Because they'd already heard it.
Because you know, and the room was confused, but I didn't know when I was on stage why. Like, this is a joke that kills everywhere, especially in a room filled with
Yeah.
Indian
Yeah,
CEOs.
yeah.
And I was very confused. Why I was like, did they not hear me? Did they like what got?
I
But
can't believe she just brazenly stole it.
the whole
Well,
thing.
but people do this all the time. People steal things and ideas all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Like-
I'm sure in some of your favorite speeches that you've heard, there's been multiple things that are stolen. You had no idea.
It could be, but
You
I
can
mean,
steal. It doesn't have to be something famous for you to steal.
like I
I'm
use
sure.
an investment strategy to manage client funds. And, you know, I'm very protective of what that strategy is, how it's built, how it executes. If somebody just stole it, that would be my life's work. Somebody just stole it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people do it all
and
the
I don't
time.
know what I would do. I
people
would,
do it all the time.
do
But
it all the
I
time.
think, I mean, plagiarism.
I'm saying that's comparable to your mom's words.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have entire YouTube channels that steal my comedy specials, put it on their channels, and get millions and millions of
I mean,
views.
that I can still get behind because at least they are not like people of responsibility like a CEO would be, right?
I'm telling you, that was one of the most shocking events that I was shocked, not because like, what if people think it's not my words, because there's just no way. I wrote the joke. I know what
Yeah.
it is. And it's filmed and it's been broadcast all over the world. So I wasn't, because a lot of times you are also,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you're the original creator,
Did she give you credit and say, oh,
no.
the way Zarna would
You
say
know what happened? So at the end of my set, there was a reception. She was gone.
oh, she just left?
She was gone.
Wow. Did she
And
afterwards,
I didn't know.
afterwards send
Even
you a
during the
note?
reception, I didn't know.
Did you talk to her after? Like, what's the conclusion to the story?
Nothing. I didn't say anything. I mean, like, what am I? She was an honoree at this big gala. I'm not gonna be like, you stole my joke.
Wow.
Yeah. But I remember because when at the end of the night, when I realized what had happened, because I wasn't checking my phone, I was like, but who was this honoree? I didn't even meet her. Like, you know, usually
Yeah.
they introduce you to the honorees. They're like, this person. And then somebody told me, as soon as I was done, she left the room.
Wow.
Damn.
Because she realized then there was a copy joke.
I don't
or if it
know.
was a
Maybe she
writer.
was leaving anyway, but I don't know. But I'm telling you that was,
Is it like a Fortune 500 company?
it was a big company.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, plagiarism is a real problem. Do you see Veer
In your school?
In your school, people plagiarizing writing from the internet,
From ChatGPT.
from ChatGPT? What's the story? Be honest. Be
I mean,
honest.
ChatGPT, I'm sure they do.
I'll be
least-
honest.
yeah.
Yeah. I think like this. I'm plagiarizing a point that I'm about to make actually, so I'll give credit for this.
We're going to take a brief moment to talk about our sponsor for today's episode, Monarch. Now, I personally have used Monarch because I used to be very afraid of managing my finances. This is actually pretty documented in my life. I used to be very afraid of how I'm going to manage it all. Maybe I don't understand it. Maybe I don't know how to forecast my needs. But Monarch makes it so simple. Simplify your finances with Monarch. Monarch is the all-in-one personal finance tool designed to make your life easier. It brings your entire financial life, budgeting, accounts, and investments, net worth, future planning, all together in one dashboard on your phone or on your laptop. Feel aware and in control of your finances this tax season and get 50% off your Monarch subscription with code Zarna. And I'm telling you, when you get started on this journey, you will find that was the hardest part, was getting started. Once you get started, it's actually fun to see everything, and you will go from tracking to achieving in no time. Achieve your financial goals for good with Monarch, the all-in-one tool that makes money management simple. Use code Zarna at monarch.com for half off your first year. That's 50% off at monarch.com, code Zarna. Have you ever felt like you need medical help after hours? Let's take a brief moment to tell you about our sponsor for today's episode, ZocDoc. How many things can you squeeze in between 9 and 5, the same hours that you have to work? You gotta deal with your kids. You gotta deal with the rest of your family. ZocDoc makes it easy. And you know what? When you're done finding an amazing doctor, that diamond in the rough that you've been waiting to find, you will be so happy. You will raise your hand and tell everybody else that this problem is now solved. You'll go back to your kids and be like, I took care of this today because it's been pending. And they're watching you blow off your own health. Listen, you don't have to tell me. Our lives as a mom, it's all like puzzle pieces. When are you going to squeeze in the time to figure out your own health or your kids' health or your husband's health or whatever? But it can all be done. And I am telling you that in the end, that feeling when something is handled and you know that you feel good, that is worth it all. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/Zarna to find and instantly book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/Zarna. ZocDoc.com/Zarna. Thanks ZocDoc for sponsoring this message.
Use AI for all their assignments. I know all the teachers know it. Like everybody, you can tell. All the teachers know that like at least 20% of the students will use AI. Even if that doesn't mean writing your paper directly with AI, finding all your sources and the images and stuff can be used with AI. And the reason that is because school nowadays, this is a plagiarized point. I'm giving credit to whoever created it. School nowadays is more about grades than it is learning. Students would rather like, if you had the option to just teleport to being a 20-year-old, having gotten hundreds in every class and gone to the best college but not learned anything, they would choose that over having actually learned the knowledge.
Well, obviously.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's why AI is such a
Yeah,
prevalent...
like why would students care about like what they learn? They care about the grade at the end of the day.
That's why AI is so prevalent now, though. And it's not like it's crazy or anything, because before AI, I used to think it was too. Before AI, people would just reword stuff from Wikipedia. So AI is not a new way of cheating. It's just more efficient.
You know what? This is kind of why I'm so bullish live stream in the next 10 years. Because we as a family live stream a lot. My brothers and I have a live stream show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram. It's called The Sibling Show. Our parents are not invited.
Sometimes I do drop in because they really need me.
And I drop in because I live in the house. And they are all over the house, so I'm there.
But the reason we started exploring lives is because we've noticed that a lot of creators have been benefiting a lot from learning how to build live shows. And the reason for that is because you cannot plagiarize when you are being recorded live for your thoughts in real time.
Yeah.
There's no way to fake it.
That's definitely also a reason that podcasts have risen in popularity.
100%.
There is an informal and spontaneity that podcasts have that even news shows don't.
Totally.
Like everything on news feels like it's scripted and edited and gone through 3 levels of legal and now you can't say this and you can't say that. Podcasts feel like the new frontier where people are actually saying things that might upset somebody, and that's okay. Like that they might have an edgy point of view, and that's okay. Like it's just one person's point of view.
Yeah.
And not everybody has to get all bent out of shape over it.
But one point I want to bring up is I feel like the greatest ideas are not necessarily like so original. They're usually same but different. You know, like usually an amazing idea takes components of what is working for specific other ideas and puts them together elegantly to solve a current day problem. So I think the idea that you have to come up with everything from scratch, for example, even for this own family podcast, right? Like we've taken certain models that we really respect from other shows, but then...
Yeah, but we're putting in the effort to...
No, but we
create the content.
we fashioned it into our own context, is what I'm saying. Like there's a way to be inspired by other people's ideas without just wholly accepting.
Yeah, it comes down to, are you being inspired by them or are you just lifting it?
Yeah.
I think like for example, in the example I gave, the woman, from what I understand, because I didn't hear it clearly, literally retold my joke.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Yeah.
You know, there was another way to go about, and she probably may be thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Indian CEOs in America. That is something that you could make a joke about. But there is a way to be inspired, and there's a way to be like, let me just take that whole line.
Well,
and retell it.
I saw a whole Substack scandal where this girl who was like getting a lot of subscribers, and Substack's interesting because when you get subscribers and you rise the charts, they're paid subscribers. So you actually make money based on your idea. So you're charging based on your ideas literally equal cash, right? And someone lifted a few essays straight off of somebody else's Substack who wasn't making nearly as much money. And of course, that woman called this woman out, and it was a whole thing. But I couldn't believe the idea that you could just copy and paste somebody else's.
I mean, I think it happens a lot in social media. It happens a lot at work.
In finance, it happens
In
all the time.
corporate America,
But how do
does
you
it
not
happen
get
in
frustrated,
finance?
and how does it happen?
So, there is a bit of a elbowy culture in corporate America, right? Where companies exist 100 years ago, like big companies, let's say Goldman Sachs, McKinsey, and Novard, like all these large firms of the country, they've existed for 100 plus years. They've existed for 50 plus years, and they will exist for the next 50 and the next 100 years. What that means is that the individual doing the jobs at those companies is not the most important thing. They can replace that individual with another individual. If that person, it's not like if the CEO of Goldman Sachs got changed 10 years ago and then before that 30 years ago, it's not like anything changed at the firm, right?
Yeah.
New CEO took over and the company went on. So as a result, the power they've wield in the infrastructure that they have is very valuable. Yet, despite the fact that it's a big machine, each of those seats is very well paid. Each of those functions that is being done has to be done by a specific personality type, and they pick from the personality type. The point I'm trying to make is that because there's so much value to the individual components of the machine, so people's fight to become those components leads them to do anything that may be possible.
So they'll steal credit.
They will steal credit, they will plagiarize, they will now, they've all been to business schools and to Harvard, like my read will go, and so on. So they know these things well as to how to plagiarize without looking like it's plagiarized. So they become very good at blue collar crime, the way it's called, as opposed to
white collar crime.
Sorry, white, my bad. Thank you for correcting that. I did mean white collar crime. Like they've become really good at white collar crime, so the softer way of criminology, as opposed to literally punching someone. So they become really good at that, and they do a very good job of hiding it too. But the amount of plagiarism and taking credit for each other, or in a meeting not letting a junior person speak even though it's her work, or your dad was different than all of that. Like I'm much above all of those things, right? So hence, that's why I come across as so, like, how audience always says he comes across as so handsome and believable. It's partly because of all of that. But, I'm just saying what the audience says, I'm not even taking any credit here.
But how do you not get how would you not get irritated at work?
Good question. The reason you don't get irritated by it is because the people that ultimately have seen succeed are people who kept their head down and focused on the long term.
Yeah. So keeping role models, kind of.
I have not seen any one of these. They may succeed in the short run. So
Yeah.
the most immediate promotion may in fact go to the person who plagiarized, but the long marathon, the person who wins it, ends up being the original person. So when, for example, Bridge said he really wants to pursue investment banking, right?
I didn't say that. I never said that.
Bridge, how can you just forget that?
Wait,
I did not say that.
I don't
You
think that.
specifically said that you're very seriously considering it.
Huh? I said I was considering it, but I never
So
said
he
I'm
did say
like
he's
in love with
considering it.
investment banking.
Yeah, and
I didn't know
that he will pursue that internship next summer, and that I should help him prepare for it and all of that. So the fact that he said that, that's the kind of inspiration and attitude you need to succeed. Like Bridge will in investment banking, or when Veer goes to Harvard, he will after style.
He's doing this just to trigger me.
Yeah, no, I know.
He's like,
we're all aware.
the Harvard thing didn't get the reaction he wanted, so
He
went to
repeated the
it.
Harvard thing, and then he went to the
And
investment
then if he
banking.
wouldn't have gotten that reaction, he would have come to you and be like, why aren't you married yet? Yeah, like
We can take a poll. Audience, do you think I'm being honest in my desire to see my children succeed? Or do you think I'm doing
Oh, that is not the question. I think you.
It's not a joke if it only makes you laugh. This happens so often. Okay, Burj, I want to talk about something else. When you see students taking credit for other people's ideas in college, this happens all the time, right?
No.
Where people will be having group discussions and then they'll bring up a point to the professor that is not actually their point, it was someone else's point.
Nobody speaks to professors anymore. Nobody speaks to professors anymore. Nobody socializes and talks about intellectual ideas anymore. None of that happens. Like the only sort of ideas, and honestly, I never see any ideas
How
stolen in
about in your
college.
startup situation where you had like
Even
three of-
in startup situations, there's literally never a case where someone steals someone else's idea. Like everyone always thinks there is. Actually, there's a whole stigma around not telling people your ideas because someone's gonna steal it. When nobody cares about your idea 99% of the time, or B, if your idea is that easily stolen, if you're that afraid of your idea being stolen and executed by someone else, you're already screwed from the start. Because if you don't believe that your execution is going to beat their execution, you may as well just leave the game now.
That's true.
Because somebody will take it at some point. Some other company, people always talk about somebody starting a startup, but a lot of the times you're going to end up competing with other companies that create their own version of your startup within their company, right? It's called intrapreneurship. Intrapreneurship is when companies have teams dedicated towards creating ventures underneath their corporate branches. So for example, like Goldman Sachs, they're going to have like 50 venture teams that create their own version of how they can make their own company better. They'll have a team that creates a tool that will make it so that it's more efficient to watch the markets. They'll make a watching market efficiency tool.
It's not medicine. He is interested in finance. Just look at how much he already knows.
And that's literally nothing. And that tool, they'll invent it and they'll use it and they'll sell it to other companies. It's intrapreneurship. Or they'll acquire a different startup adjacently related, make it better, and that will compete with you. So it's like the idea that your idea is going to get stolen and you're going to be screwed over because of that is mute. It never happens and it's not reality. You either execute or you don't. And in college nowadays, nobody is speaking to each other about professors. People bouncing ideas off each other, but it never ever, in my experience at least, has been stolen. And Cornell is not like the number one entrepreneurship school like Stanford, so it might be different there, but it still is a very big startup culture and nobody does that.
No, I agree with that completely.
Yeah.
I think what I've noticed really bothered people or seems to bother people is girls get really bothered when other girls like steal their sense of clothing, their sense of
Oh yeah, what about
music.
stealing clothing?
Like whenever you steal someone's music taste
that's
or
really
clothing
good.
we
taste.
should talk about stealing clothing.
Okay.
That's a good segue.
We are not again, but are you again gonna go to your brother?
I'm joking, but he does steal my clothing.
And so have you in lifetime. So
Because something that is true is that your taste is what makes you you. So when you work really hard to develop good taste in certain things and someone just starts to mimic it, you
listen, I will say what I said at the
Can
beginning.
we talk about gatekeeping?
Before we get back to the episode, I also want to talk about our sponsor for today's episode, Pebble. If you are a CEO, you're a founder, or you're in some position where you need to hire somebody for a job, Pebble's got you covered. Even if you need to hire somebody overseas, do you know that they can help you find the person, manage the contract, figure out the terms, the final cost, not the cost plus what else is involved, the final number. All of that can be done by Pebble because they've figured it out and they've made it so easy for everybody to hire and to find that right person who can do the job for you. Pebble's new standard discounted pricing is $399 per month per employee to help you contain costs. That's the final number. Standard discounted pricing at $399 per month per employee to help you contain your costs. Go to hipebble.ai, HIPEBL.ai to get a free estimate. That's hipebble.ai, HIPEBL.ai for a free estimate. Don't delay hiring your next superstar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like when
That's a good
do you guys
idea.
know gatekeeping is when, for example, if someone were to ask where my shirt or like where something is from. By the way, if you're wondering where any of my clothes, hygiene stuff, any of that is from, check my Insta, Veer_Garg11 in my bio. One of the links is to my shop, that has all my stuff. But when people are asking where something from you, where you got it, if you just tell them, like, if you lie to them, you don't tell them where it's from, like, I don't want to tell you. What about that? Do you agree with it? Do any of you guys
Mom
agree
is
with
the
it?
least gatekeeping
She doesn't
person
gatekeep
I've ever
anything.
met.
Yeah.
I should
Okay, so where is it
gatekeep a
from?
little more.
Where is that bracelet from?
This is Cartier's newest flexible love bracelet
Oh wow.
that I
I saw
bought
it.
for myself.
Wow.
I would not gatekeep. I'll tell you. I knew, you know why. Because I believe truly, deeply, inside my being, that givers win.
Yeah.
That the more you give, the more you're going to win in this world. The world, that's my belief. You don't have to agree with it and whatever. I've never gatekept people. When you guys were little, who's your tutor, who's your class? Here, take the whole playbook. I tell people now, you want my jokes, you take my whole jokes. If you can do something with it, go do it.
Can I ask you
Take my
one
whole
thing that I think?
Because comics stealing each other's jokes is a very
No,
big
no,
thing.
no, I'm
Can I ask you
sure.
something? So one thing that I think sometimes when I'm like somebody's asking where I got something from is that if I tell them, it's not as personal to me or original anymore, and that more people will have it in this world.
But nothing is that original. I mean, everything comes from something. It's not like we're all sitting on a vacuum. I mean, I'll give you an example. My pronoun doctor joke, right? Like teacher said, what should be my pronoun? And I said, you are Indian, your pronoun is doctor. Do you know how many Indian comics have told me that, actually I had thought of the same thing? I was like, then go make it. Like, I'm not stopping you.
Yeah.
If you can sell that joke with conviction, if you can act like you have a kid who said it or that you thought of it or whatever, go make it. And
I think it wouldn't fly because they may not have a kid like that.
Well, it's
They may
also
not have-
original. I mean, it's a true
have a guy,
story.
another joke. I'm an immigrant. I came to America with $9 in my pocket. That's one of the first jokes I ever wrote. So, there's a guy out there who's like, she stole it from me. I was like, when I heard about, I didn't even know who this guy was ever. I've never watched him perform comedy. I don't even know if he's a comic. But that was the early days of my comedy. And I was like, did I make a mistake somewhere? I was trying to think. I was like, where does this guy perform? And I said, where is he from? Because I figured I'm an immigrant. I came to America means the guy must be an immigrant, right? Like I'm like, because the immigrant comics would stick in your mind.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I saw that French comic that would stick in your mind, right?
Yeah.
I said, so where's this guy from? Because then maybe my memory can be like, oh, okay, maybe. I mean, the guy's from New Jersey.
No.
I was like, how? So he is making a joke about being an immigrant from New Jersey? What? But nothing, just like what you guys are saying, that no idea on its own is big enough. If the idea is not authentic to the person, it doesn't really land anyway. I mean, it's like you can write, even people steal written work and all, but it just doesn't have the same impact. Like Seinfeld has how many seasons of Seinfeld episodes? Those are all jokes. Every episode is like 50, 100, 200 jokes, right? They're all lines. But you can't just, if I walked around saying soup Nazi, it means nothing.
That episode is so funny.
That was what he created. That was part of his DNA that he gave to the world.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's a more long-term thing. But that's not to say that it's not irritating when it happens.
No, but
I
that's
guess
what I
that's
want to know.
one of those things that I feel like talent cannot be learned, right?
It can't.
You cannot learn
You
talent.
can't learn talent.
Like you cannot beat Tom Brady by just wanting to
But
copy him.
Tom Brady, he had talent, but he also
No, so you're right. So you have to work hard at your talent. But I'm
Hard
saying the
work
raw
beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
But
No,
talent,
it's
when
not
it
my
doesn't
quote. I
fail to
also-
work hard,
I plagiarized that
beats
quote
hard
too.
work. But that's the
You
thing, though. But
plagiarized, you repeated it.
Yeah.
You're saying it's not original, but you're reading quotes all over the place, right?
you don't start amazing at anything. You might have inklings of goodness at a thing, but you have to really chisel that thing into amazingness. in
listen,
order
this is
for
the way
it
that I'll
Like in
say it.
investing, for example, right? I often find young people wanting to learn, oh, how did this PM do it? How did that PM do it? And ultimately, when they succeed, if they succeed, it's their own personality
yeah.
and the way they think about the world and then execute their ideas. Even if they've learned the tools from a variety of different people, the final secret sauce ends up being their own. It's impossible to just copy someone and just succeed off the basis of copying them, in my opinion.
My computer science professor told me that because now a lot of people in college are unfortunately using AI models to code and just do their programmatic assignments. But he told me that when I would solve my assignments, he had never seen solutions so complicated in his life. He was like, because when you code, the best programmers will take the problem and find as many repeatable systems to an answer as possible. What I would do is I would basically explain my answer in as many lines of code as possible. Every redundancy, it's like as if you take an instruction manual and you just answer it line by line by line instead of actually finding any repeatables. He was like, I would know which code was yours just by seeing it off the bat. He was like,
But that said, I will say a caveat to this, because right now we're all like, oh, it's okay, take your work. No. I will say there is a power dynamic at play, because India is notorious for cheating and plagiarism.
oh, you're gonna.
I know-
get so
Wait, in what
canceled for
context?
that.
I mean, in every context.
Like, what do you
but
mean
even
by
in the
that?
I think
creative
it's just
fields.
India. Most developing countries are. China is no different. Right?
I don't know. I don't have experience.
I mean,
with
like China, intellectual property has been such a big thing. You
Yeah,
know,
but I don't know about it directly. I don't know what goes
I mean,
on in India.
I understand that you don't sort of read that much and all that, but if you read the most basic,
Just the book or out.
He's just trying to pick, you don't say
Okay,
anything.
get
to
on with
him.
your point. Go with your point.
Like in India, the power dynamic is such that let's say a writer submits a screenplay, right? Here, I have a screenplay. It's registered in my name. There is like a synopsis. There's a log line. Like there is like an actual registry of this is her work. But in India, I know if a writer submits a screenplay to a big production company, I have heard of cases where literally the producer, who's a famous person, or the main actor will be like, I wrote it. I'll produce the whole movie and just run with it. I don't think it's as easy today as it used to be, but it is still being done all the time, and that's what my creative friends tell me.
Yeah.
Well, America has a really great system for protecting the originality of
The legal
art.
system.
Really?
Yeah,
good.
it has a really amazing,
good.
like, IP is something that America prides itself in encouraging people to create and protect. And so I actually think that's one thing that...
That's true. Amongst the many other great things, that's one of them too. You're right.
Yeah.
About the country.
Like the patent system.
You know why? You know why this happened? Dad, do you want to know why this happened?
Why?
Because of people like J.P. Morgan.
Well,
J.P. Morgan was a tycoon owner, and he would stampede over every single original business. So they had to put these systems in place.
I had no idea that JP Morgan, the man.
And I'm sure Goldman Sachs was another one of them.
These were very impressive men in the early 1900s.
I'm just saying that the reason that all of this is possible is because of how I mean, it's up to opinion whether they were good or
Who
bad.
is your
But
hero?
Who's my hero?
Yeah. Do you have like a hero?
In like just everyday life?
Yeah.
I mean, your mother is my hero.
What?
Growing up, did you have any heroes?
Stop it! So you cannot.
I mean, let's just take a vote. Dear audience, do you think I meant that or did I not mean that?
Did he mean that? Did
Growing
not
up, did
mean
you have
that?
any heroes?
was it a cricket player?
No. I guess growing up, my hero would be. Interesting question.
Was it your mom?
No, my parents, I didn't see them as my heroes. I guess my younger brother, I saw him as a hero. He was very capable from a very young age. He was very hardworking. He took instruction well. He's the only man I've taken financial help from in my life. And he did not hesitate. He is, and my whole family benefited, not just me. Yeah, I would say he, my brother.
Wow, that was amazing. Who is your hero?
I have so many.
My God.
I'm easily inspired. I'm easily inspired by people around me. It's not even, I mean, if I were to count all the people that have helped me, that list alone would be about 100 people long. That's why my book has the longest ever acknowledgement section.
Yeah, it's actually
16 pages.
16?
pages of acknowledgements. And the whole acknowledgement section is a whole another book.
Yeah.
But I seek inspiration everywhere. Like, I see it everywhere. Like, there are things that Oprah Winfrey has done that I think to beat odds at that level is insane. There are things that Kris Jenner has done as a matriarch of a family, of a creative family, that I think is wild and crazy and successful. I think, and then there are things that people have created that I get envious of. I get envious of my friend Karan Johar. I'm envious of what he created. I mean,
You actually are?
yeah, of what he's created, not his wealth and his stardom, but to be the guy who taught a whole country like India how to fall in love.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is like single-handedly, it was him. My entire generation quoted every word, every line, every song, wore his t-shirts, that's like a level of iconic status. And it's that you cannot even aspire to, it's so rare in its originality and in how it just fell out of his head. And all those pieces that he put together at a
Now
very
there is
young
a
age.
filmmaker teaching the same Indians how to do espionage well.
Yeah.
Dhurandhar 1 and 2.
Yeah, and now I haven't watched Dhurandhar, but I've heard amazing things about it. So but I get inspired all around me, but it's usually by the creative work or by the achievements of the person. I'm never usually not like too caught up in people's things.
You're not a status. It's not status.
No.
It's never status.
No, right? Because what is there? That comes and goes anyway. But what you've created will stand the test of time.
What about you, Veer?
My hero? I would say my hero is Baya.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna die.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Veer always has these moments. This is another one of
He's
them.
tearing up.
I'm not
He's
tearing up.
tearing up. I saw it, Bridge.
Even though he
saw
fights about the
eyes.
clothes and he fights
Yeah,
about the bathroom.
but what about the water he leaves?
What do you want me to say? Like, how do you want me? That's why I was like,
He has
yeah.
your pants. He's wearing your pants right now.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you want me to say about that? He wrote his college essay about it.
Yes, he wrote. Oh my God, Bridge, you should read your college essay out on Instagram one day.
One day.
One day. We should.
Deidi's college essays all over the country, so yours should.
Didi, who's yours?
No, hold on. We didn't go through Bridge and Zoya, right?
Yeah,
Bridge?
both of them.
I have very few heroes in life. Very few people that I'm like genuinely. I need like this is the person that I just definitely unequivocally number one is mom for sure.
Oh.
Number one, I think I take the most entrepreneurial like advice and resemblance of mom. I think the way that she takes business risks, something I've never seen before, but something that I really, really hope that I include in my entrepreneurial journey. And I think other than her, like I really like Gary Vee. Like I really, really like Gary Vee. I like everything he stands for, what he's aiming to do, how he's aiming to help like society. And outside of like those two people, I don't really think that I take after anybody.
Pretty cool.
They both mom and Gary Vee share like I don't know like a gritty like just keep shooting perspective on
Personality
finance
type.
and
What
business.
was it like when you guys met? Did you feel like you guys had just an instant
Yeah.
kinship?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Of course, we bonded over a common villain, but
Oh,
Who was
yeah.
the villain?
there was a TV network that passed on our show.
Well,
On my show. But he, to make me feel good, was like, and they fucking.
we'll link the episode that she's talking about
Yeah.
with him. She was on his podcast.
Yeah, and I just started crying. And
We'll link that.
who's your hero?
I mean, I obviously, you're definitely my hero.
No.
But I definitely, I think everyone knows that, but I would say that I take a lot of inspiration from a lot of people. I really have made heroes out of like Roman emperors. I think that the way
cool.
that they think, like, I think the way that they structured the entire beginnings of Western civilization is something that I think a lot about. And I try to embody a lot of the frameworks I learned from like classics and from their writings into my everyday life. I'm also very inspired by just world builders. I'm very inspired by Mindy Kaling. I think that what she's pulled off in like building these entire cinematic universes out of blank pages and doing so with so much commercial, like with a commercial mind, you know, like, because it's one thing to make a TV show. It's another to get it like number one on Netflix, like so much of the country is watching it because, or like so much of the world is watching it because in order for your fit of a TV show to then be easily consumed by enough people that like everybody likes it, that's very hard. That's a very, very hard thing to do. It's like, there are so many artists in the world that are like, this is my art and like it or not, it's my art. And like, actually art is only great if it's used and consumed, in my opinion. That's just my hot take.
No, and Mindy did it as a single mother.
She did it as a single mom, and
Crazy.
I think she really rewrote the playbook for a lot of Indian girls. So I really, really am inspired by her. I'm inspired by the whole Kardashian
and American
family.
girls, everyone.
Yeah, American girls. I think all people.
Yeah.
Inspired a lot by the Kardashian family. I think that they sensationalize a lot, but you know, the fact that they built as a family is really, really special. And you know, I think that a lot of people compare us to Kim and Chris, where you're Kim and I'm Chris.
What?
No, seriously, people do all the time.
I don't know.
What does that make me? Am I Travis? Am I Timothy Chalamet?
No, because you're part of the
Timothy
family.
Chalamet.
Those guys were all added on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for Zarna Garg?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this all became very like sweet and all. And Veer, you better remember the sweet moment. The next time he does messes up your room.
He's like what's it called? Frozone. Like he needs his suit, but when he's without his suit, he can, you know, be very
Inspiring.
opposite.
No,
He can be
opposite. He's
very-
saying when I don't have a suit.
But this has been our episode on credit, all things credit, giving credit, taking credit, plagiarism, inspiration, things that make you happy or really angry and sad. And we want to hear what's going on in your life, who's stealing your credit. Are you taking other people's work and repurposing it? You can feel free to share with us. We don't judge because we understand. We're creators ourselves.
Not
We're
true,
all...
not true. She judges all the time.
Oh my God. It's like, okay. And as we end every episode with a round of good grades with Garg, so too we will end this episode with a round of good grades with Gargs, where each Garg gives another Garg an A grade for the winning moment of the episode. The most inspiring moment, enlightening moment, entertaining moment. Who wants to go first?
I mean, there can be only one such moment of this episode, which is Veer recognizing his brother as his hero. I don't think that moment can be beaten down by anything else. So my moment has to go to him.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many others too.
Mine definitely is gonna go to Veer, but I don't want to just say like because I appreciate what he said. I'll also share something that about how I feel towards Veer, which is I take a lot of pride and joy with Veer. Like compared to everybody else on everyone here, like I love everyone so much. I really love Didi more than like you two I love, but like I really like the siblings, and.
L word that is never to be spoken.
But like
You're going to lump me with him?
no, but the love that I have for Veer and the joy that I get from seeing his success is something that I genuinely have never experienced from anything else in this world. And when he wins, like when he got into Stuyvesant or when he plays well in basketball or when he fails, I even love it when he fails. I love it a lot when he fails because I don't think you've experienced enough failure yet in your life, but you will. You will experience a lot. And I think that like seeing all of those things happen, being there from the start and just experiencing each one of those things, that's what makes me as happy and confident as I am today every single day. Because literally having him in my corner and somebody to like constantly be looking up to and be looking beside with, 100% is what gives me my confidence. And I've said that many times in my life and I'm saying it for the first time in front of the audience.
Oh,
Oh, what a nice moment.
now he is about to cry.
I'll give my A grade. Well, I this whole time I was planning to give it to mom. I'll give it shared Baya and mom. Baya, obviously, for what you just said, it means a lot. And we've obviously, like, every time it's one of our birthdays, we've said this before. It's, like, means a lot to hear it again. But,
Yeah, we've known.
yeah, of course. Mom, because she has really taught everyone how to seek inspiration. And just the optimistic
That's a good
perspective you
observation.
have on everything is so contagious. And it just feels like if we start something, you automatically believe that it's going to be so successful and great just because you're involved in it. And you believe so heavily. It can be the worst idea ever, and you will somehow believe that it's going to be the next like Facebook or the next Instagram or something.
Can I just say, this morning, Bridge created this amazing digital product that hopefully at this point you guys will have tried by the time this episode comes out. We'll tell you more about it as these episodes continue. But Bridge made the first iteration of it yesterday, and people were so excited. Like 300 people were using it. The server crashed. It was so exciting. And this morning, Mom woke up and she goes, "We're tech billionaires." And I was like, "Really? I didn't know we were in tech." And she was like, "No, as of yesterday, we're tech."
In my mind, I wrote an entire resignation letter to the comedy community. And I woke up. My son has made us tech billionaires. I don't know what it is. My mind just thinks big things and crazy things.
No, it was awesome.
We celebrate before anything has happened. I remember having like my first show and the booker saying you need to sell 100 tickets. But when I sold 2, I was like, we've done it. We've done it. And believing that the next 98 will show up.
Oh, I thought you meant 200.
If 2 people. I remember thinking if 2 showed up, 98 more will. They're out there somewhere. Okay, did you give your...
Yeah, I'm gonna give my A grade to Mom. I don't think I actually grew up with like this idea of an abundance mindset, which she talked a lot about, like being like when you give and give and give, you get and get and get. And every time I've been like that in my life, better things have come out of it. But there have been moments in my life where I was really low in my self-esteem and I wasn't in a position where I felt like I could give and give and give. And in those moments, my mom always reminded me that that's the right way to be in life. And so I credit
Good A
that,
grade.
to her.
Thank you. I will split my A grade between my 2 boys because what an insane moment, at least as a mom, I got to witness. that he usually complains about this one at every episode. Usually it's like we can do a little montage of all the things Bridge has taken and not taken and made a mess and all of that. But to see the kids keeping a bigger perspective in mind and not getting bogged down by small trivial nonsense is very heartwarming. It is certainly something that I hoped and prayed my family would have. And I really wish and pray that it stays that way. That there's no greater achievement. As much as I would like to be a tech billionaire, which I do, we might be by the time you watch this episode. We might be. Or we may have lost it all, and that also happens. It's an extremely volatile situation in my mind. But regardless, this is the victory that's far harder to achieve than just making money.
Yes.
And that was our episode on credit. That was our episode on inspiration and all things in that genre. We want to hear from you. Who is your hero? Put it. Tag your hero in the comment section. Let people know that you think they're hero. I mean, this was a revelation for us, right? Like who we think are each other's. You did it just for the votes. So please don't we just
so
jump into
cute.
yes. But it might be a big revelation for your hero to know that you think of them that way. There's no reason to wait. Give them credit while it's due. Give them their flowers while they're alive. Tag them. Let the world know what you think of your heroes. Let's all create a positive space on the internet with this. If you like what we're doing, please like, share, and subscribe this episode. Please join us, comment, and until we meet again, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.